Welcome to Courtside Moms. I'm your host, Wendy Sparks. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mirjam Poterbin, the mother of Dallas Mavericks superstar Luka Dončić. Let's welcome Mirjam to the show. Thank you, Mirjam, for coming on Courtside Moms. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for your invitation.
Typically, my interviews have been with moms whose sons' careers have started in the NBA and they end up playing overseas at some point. However, your son did the reverse. He started playing professionally in Madrid and now is in the NBA. So I have to ask you, can you please give me a snapshot of his career, where it all started?
Yeah, if I start from the beginning, he started to play basketball when he was 7 years old in his own school. Then when he was 13 years old, it was really young. I mean, he was really a kid. He joined Real Madrid in Spain. That was probably the toughest decision in my life. To send your kids somewhere, he doesn't speak their language, nothing. It's everything new. And he's still a kid. It's really the toughest decision in my life. But yeah, he wanted to go. He said, Mom, I want to try. So he left home with 13 years old. And then he joined NBA.
That must have been a big sacrifice for you as a mom to let your baby leave by himself.
Yeah, I cried a lot. But that's life. In the end, he was happy to went there. So I'm happy now because these times are over, the hardest one.
Of course. Now, what was it like for him to adjust by himself in Spain, in a totally different country, different language, no mom?
He moved there and he really enjoyed it. Anyway, if it was hard.
Okay. So Luka, being only 16 when he played on the main team, were you worried about him playing against men while still at such a young age?
Honestly, no, I wasn't worried because he was so excited and he wanted to do this. So no, I didn't think about this that I need to be worried. No, at all.
When did you realize that Luka was going to be a superstar?
I mean, it's hard to say. That's what people ask me a lot of times, but I never think about that. For me, it was just important. He's happy, he enjoys his life, and that's it. And I was never thinking so much about this, if he can be successful or not, because we all know that to be successful, there are a lot of things behind, not just basketball. So, yeah, I was think about it.
Yeah, I think moms see it from a different perspective, right? Like your mom, so our kids as superstars is so far fetched. For him, for you, it's Luka.
Yeah, that's
He's
correct.
Yeah.
From other perspective, that's correct. As a mom, not nothing else.
Yeah, he's a baby. So I would love to understand and learn from the perspective of a European player who is being drafted into the NBA. How did Luka get noticed by the NBA?
He applied for the draft like all the players does, and after his agent notified him everything what happened.
Okay. Do you know if scouts from the U.S. just say came and watched him play in Spain?
There were a few of them, I know, but I think he met three of them. They came to Spain or over the Skype, but he met three of them.
How often did you get out to Spain to watch him play?
I was the first 4 years he lived there alone. I joined there when he was 16. He was mature. He could live alone. Just he wanted to have kind of family and to help him out of the court. So I moved there when he was 16. At that time, I saw all the games, but otherwise, I was there in the beginning. I was there every weekend from Friday to Sunday, and then every second or every third. Yeah, but I was there a lot. Right. Honestly, I would miss watching his games because I watched all his games in his life when he was a kid. So yeah, that's important for me.
Of course. So you moved to Spain from your country, Slovenia?
Yeah, Slovenia.
Did you have to sacrifice your career in Slovenia to live in Spain?
Yes, correct. I had to. But I didn't think a second. When
Right.
he asked me to come, I said, that's it. He's my son. I need to do everything for him. But it's true. Yeah, I had my own beauty salon. So I needed to close at that time. So I said, what's going to be, it's going to be. Just
Yeah.
we need to do this for our kids.
That's a mother's love, right?
Correct.
So when the decision was made to declare for the NBA, did he have to first leave Real Madrid team?
Yes, he had to leave Real Madrid. But he really wanted to go to NBA. That was his dream. And he had a really good time in Real Madrid, and they were totally okay with him going to NBA. So yeah,
Well, with Real Madrid, he had just won a championship and was MVP before heading to America for the draft.
correct. They won the European Championship, and he was the MVP. So he was really happy because it happened just before he left. He left Europe to NBA.
Well, that must have been a crazy week for him and for you.
It was crazy. Our heads were full of so emotions and those priceless moments. I cannot really explain how I felt. Really.
Well, let's talk about draft night. How do you prepare as a mom for a draft night? I mean, here you are in Spain, and here your son is now going to be drafted in America. So there must have been some thoughts like, hey, there's a possibility of Miriam having to move now to America. So what was all that like for you, like the preparation for Miriam?
Yeah, that was really amazing feeling. My heart was beating so fast, and first I congratulated him. But I told him few words I wanted to tell him when he will be drafted. And then, of course, when he went to the stage, I started to cry.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
so, I love that. I just love hearing that. So he was drafted to Atlanta Hawks, and then was it right away that he was traded to
A
Dallas
little bit
Mavs?
later, yeah. I think a little bit later, yeah.
Yeah.
Not immediately when they drafted.
So now it was official that you're moving to the U.S. So now, how did you prepare to move to yet another country?
Yeah, actually, I didn't prepare so much because I'm used to move all of my life. So I remember when most of the people said to Luca, prepare, they told me actually, be prepared. This is going to be a hard transition for Luca moving to US. But I told everyone, no worries. This is going to be really easy for him because moving from
Yes.
Slovenia to Spain with 13, that
Mm-hmm.
was hard. But moving to US wasn't hard at all. So I was excited. I was really excited.
Well, and imagine now that you're better prepared, right? Because, like you said, you already did that move, right? So,
Correct.
you know, yeah, that's good. Then that's good that he had you, because now he's moving across the world
Yes.
to live his dream and to have his mom with him. That must have been awesome.
Yeah. It's a great feeling, really.
Yeah. So your son was already a huge success playing for Real Madrid way before the NBA. Did you ever imagine that his career would end up in the US?
Actually, I knew that this is his dream. I knew that he can be here. Just like I said before, a lot of things depends on this. So I really believed in him. I knew that he can play.
How did the Dallas Mavericks organization receive you?
It's hard to explain how surprised I was because from the first and the last person that they are in the team, they're so extremely nice. They help me whatever I need. So I can thank God that we are here. They're so nice. They are so helpful.
Aw.
Yeah.
The culture must be very different for you and Luca living in the US. Is there anything that you guys found difficult to adjust to?
Actually, it's, maybe the hardest thing was the food because my country have a really quality organic food.
Yeah.
Maybe this was a little bit hard to adjust, but what I see now also here the food is much better than it was before because I was here 20 years ago and it was really hard to find something healthy. But now also here you can find a lot of healthy things.
Okay, so you've experienced the U.S. before then, so it wasn't like your first time.
No, it wasn't. It was
Oh, okay. So,
years ago. Yeah.
oh, okay. So you had an idea what to
Yeah,
expect,
just for visiting, but
right? But I'm saying you had an idea what to expect coming to America. Okay. Luka is so talented and still so young. He was already a highly ranked, successful player before entering the NBA draft. Because of that, do you think the Mavs had very high expectations from him?
yeah, I think they had a high expectation about him, but that I think that's good. That's also pushed Luka a lot. He wants to be every time better, better. I think he still has a lot of room to improve, and yeah, that pushed him a lot. If they have expectation about him.
Let's talk about the NBA hiatus when the pandemic came along and everything came to a stop. And then finally, they announced the NBA is going to return, and they're going to return and be in the bubble. So, did you get to go to the bubble?
We're here in Dallas because we wanted to join after, but they lost then we didn't go. Yeah. So,
Did you get to watch the games as a virtual fan?
yes. Yeah.
I love it. That was like the best experience. I watched my son too. So. Did Luka tell you what what that experience was like for him in the bubble? It's so different than, you know what I mean? Like playing in the bubble is different than playing outside the bubble.
Yeah, it was hard. I think so, especially in the beginning because they couldn't hang out between each others. But yeah, later was okay, but still, we all know that this is hard stuff without families, without anyone, just with the players. So it's tough, but they survive. That's life.
Do you ever, Mirjam, sit back and appreciate your role as a mom and your part for getting your son to where he is now?
Yes, definitely. I do this a lot of times, almost every day.
Good for you. Good for you as a mother, because it's as moms, we are the ones that back our children and make sure that our children are okay while helping them get to their dreams.
Correct. We take care about all other things too, not just about the basketball. I mean, I try to think about things outside of the basketball that they are important.
Yeah, because sometimes our sons, they just want to think about basketball, but they don't realize that you have to live.
100% true.
Yeah. Um, you have experience watching your son play overseas and then in the U.S. Do you see any differences between the fans there in, to say, Madrid versus the fans in Dallas?
Yeah, I see. Let's say the big difference I see it's when you watch game in Europe, or people watch the game all the time. They go out just in halftime, but here in Dallas, it's more like party. People are eating food between and those things. So this is the biggest difference I see. They are more in Europe. They are more into the game, but here it's more like fun for the families.
Yeah, it's more entertainment, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, my son was saying the same thing too. I mean, he played in Turkey and then he played in Greece,
Ooh,
and he was
Turkey is that's interesting. Those games is interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
Fans.
Yeah, he was saying it was real tough when the players, when the teams were losing, or the visiting teams, they weren't well received by the fans.
Correct.
Yeah. If a parent of a basketball player in your country were to ask you for advice of how to get their child closer to playing in the NBA, what would you tell them?
Actually, I do a lot of advices to parents because they call me a lot of times.
Nice.
Just I think that the biggest mistake they all do is that they push them.
Yeah.
Actually, parents are the one who wants that they play basketball or football, doesn't matter which sport. I think you need to let them go.
Yeah.
So if they have a big wish for this, they will be successful. If they don't have, if you push them like as a parent, no way. So this would be my advice. Let them play what they want to play.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sometimes parents, they see the dream and they see a dream that their child doesn't see. So sometimes you just have to let it happen organically.
Correct.
Because if not, they're not going to enjoy it, right? They're gonna feel forced to do it.
Yeah, and we all know that a professional athlete, that's a lot of sacrifice. How do you say? It's a lot of sacrifice. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of sacrifice that
absolutely.
you can be successful. So if
Right.
you don't have a really wish for this, it's hard.
Yeah. And like you're saying, just let it happen.
Yeah.
Just let the process happen. Critics and analysts are forever sharing their thoughts about a player's strengths and weaknesses. Does he, like, say online, for example, does he ever follow that?
I mean, I have a feeling he does read sometimes, but he doesn't take care so much about this. I mean,
Yeah.
he knows in his head, he's really mature. He's a man now. He knows exactly what is right, what is wrong. So he knows what he needs to do. Just sometimes, I think he reads sometimes, but he's not so into it yet.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes to read about yourself when you know what I mean, when you feel like I'm doing my best and then you have people that are criticizing, but you're right, the
Yeah.
best advice for him is just who cares?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he's on the court and he's doing what he has to do, right? So,
Sometimes I don't understand this, but yeah, people are like this and like to criticize a little bit.
yeah.
So yeah, you need to accept this. If you're famous, if you're an athlete, everybody knows you, so you have to accept it, or otherwise you cannot live with it.
That's right, because as famous as you are, there's going to be a lot of haters that too. Luka has been playing professionally since he was a teenager. So, how did that impact him? And was he able to do activities that a normal teenage boy would do?
Unfortunately, this is the, I say, minus of this. He didn't have this life of normal teenager at all. So he couldn't hang out with friends, go wherever he wants. So he was really focused on basketball. So he lost that part of childhood. But if he wanted to go there, there was no other thing than accept this. No, but yeah, he didn't have a normal, really normal teenage life.
Yeah. Well, he likes to play video games now, I heard.
He
So
liked
I
it. Since I know for him, he liked that. So basketball was the only thing that he said, okay, I'm not gonna play video games. I go to outside to play basketball. But otherwise he likes a lot, yeah.
so he has already been playing just as long as most veterans have been playing, but yet he is like 10 years younger than them. So what keeps him interested after playing for so long?
I think he wants to win. That's what keeps him interesting. So he doesn't want to like to lose. We all know that. So I think this is the thing. It keeps him interesting. He just wants to win.
Yeah. Did he ever want to quit?
No, never in his life. Never, never. So I don't think this is going to happen. Okay, later when he's going to be older, but no, he loves basketball so much that he was even sleeping with the ball.
You know, for Luka, he's so young now and getting into the NBA. So I could only imagine how, you know what I mean? Like he's going to have such a long, long career left. You know what I mean? He has so much time left and so much development that he needs to do.
And I'm really happy for this because I know this was his dreams. So I just wish he's gonna enjoy a long time. This is going to be fun for him for many years.
Yeah. With his experience, is this more of a job for him or is it still as much fun as it was when he was a little child?
Definitely, this is fun for him. Definitely, yeah. He doesn't take this as a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, going back to his childhood, who started him in basketball?
Who?
Who started him in basketball when he was a child?
Actually, he started in his school.
Okay. And you
But
said that he was very young playing organized basketball, correct?
yes, correct. He entered the school with 6 years old, 6.5, and that time he started to play basketball. And then when he was 10, he joined the first team in Ljubljana, Olympia.
So you have had the opportunity of seeing your son play very young up until now. How do you think he's developed as a person and then as a player?
Definitely, first thing that he became so mature with really young age. Because if you leave home from with 13 years old, you became mature very fast. So this is one thing, and he needed to take when he was 18. He needed to take a lot of big decisions in his life, and he did it, and that was all of them was right decisions. So this is the most important thing. I see that he's so mature. He's really a man.
Yeah. Did he ever ask you for your advice on the things that he wanted to do?
We actually, when he was younger, no, not anymore, because he knows everything, what's right, what's wrong.
Right.
But before, when he was younger, we talked a lot. We talked a lot. I said my opinion, he said his own opinion, and yeah, we talked a lot. But in the end, he was the one who took all the decisions.
Right. And he was so young when all this started. So did you really know anything about basketball at that time? Like when he signed his contract, or when the contract was signed at when he was 12. I mean, did you know anything about basketball or understand really what it was?
Yeah, I knew a lot about the basketball, but not so much about the contract. So this was really a stressful time for me, because when you don't know exactly what's going on
Yeah.
behind, it's so hard. So I learned a lot. In few years, I learned really a lot. I'm thankful for this, because yeah, it helps also me. And thanks God, we were lucky, me and him, that we took the right decision. But yeah, it was hard, and you never know.
You're absolutely right. You never know, and especially when this is new. I mean, for me, it was the same thing. It was everything was new, and I mean, my son was born and raised in Canada, so a lot of the opportunities were in the U.S. So I had no idea. Schools and stuff, I had absolutely no idea what to do. So I had to look for resources and look for friends and look for coaches that would give me advice. So
I did the same thing actually. I talked to the people who were already in basketball, so they helped me a lot. But yeah, when you are new in this alone,
yeah,
it's hard to take those decisions, because probably we know as mom, if I would take a bad decision for myself, I wouldn't care so much.
right.
But if I take some bad decision for my son, that would break me, honestly. So yeah, that's why it's so much harder for them.
Well, of course, because as moms, we want to steer our children in the right direction. And then when we make a mistake, it's so big for us. And we think about what we would have done differently.
Yes,
I
correct.
mean, I learned some different ways of doing different things, but you only know that it's wrong after it comes back, right? So let's learn some fun facts about Luka. What is that go-to dish that you make that he just absolutely loves?
Mm, actually, moussaka. Probably you never heard for it. It's meat and potato,
Uh-huh.
but we don't have it here in US. So yeah, this is one of the dish he really like, and he adore pasta. And from the sweets, actually Nutella cake is his favorite one.
Does Luca know how to cook?
So he can
Would-
prepare pasta probably. Yeah.
so if he were to invite you over for supper, would you eat his cooking?
Yes, pasta.
Yeah. Just the pasta you would eat, nothing else.
And the salad probably.
Yeah, that's funny. What was one item as a child that he could not live without?
Definitely basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had many of them, so he couldn't decide which one is better. But whenever he had, let's say, a birthday, we asked him, "What do you want for birthday?" And there was only two answers: basketball or basket shoes, like shoes for basketball. That's it. He didn't have any other toys at all.
He wasn't interested in playing with toys at a young age. So the only thing he really cared about was just being on the court, playing basketball.
Correct.
Did he ever play, like when he was in your country, did he ever play like outside on the playground?
Yes, every day after the school. Every day. He came home straight to the court. Yeah, his friend. That was daily.
So you had just mentioned that he loves basketball shoes. Let's talk about his Jordan brand contract that he signed in 2019. What was that like for him?
He likes it a lot. I mean, obviously he's fan of Michael Jordan, so yeah, he was so excited to sign with them, and yeah, he was really happy.
What was your childhood nickname for him?
He was Lucky.
Lukey. Oh, that's cute.
Lucky.
Do you still call him Lukey? Does he let you?
No way. He can kill me. No, he's Luka. He's just Luka.
Well, that's okay. He's a big boy now, I guess, right? So you can't call him Lukey anymore. That's okay, Mom. We
I
understand.
agree. I agree.
Now we want to ask some tips or advice from you for our listeners. Okay. So, what 3 tips would you give a mom who has to deal with a coaching decision that she does not agree with?
You mean in this case? You mean that he is gonna coach? No.
No. Say if you are sitting in you're in Real Madrid. Just
Huh?
say you're in Madrid and there's a mom there and she's not happy with a decision that the coach made and you're sitting right next to her. What advice would you give her?
Okay. I'm as a mom, I'm really calm. So I watch the games. I never comment anything. I also think he would really feel bad. But if somebody would probably comment beside me, I would say actually the coaches are there to doing their job, and I think that's true. If I would be or she should be a perfect coach, she would be a coach probably. So we don't know why those decisions are like that, but for sure they are right.
That's actually a good advice. It's true because they're not coaches, but yet they want to put their opinion and you know what I mean, put their opinion on the game or put their opinion on the coach when really their thought could be absolutely wrong. So sometimes or all the time, they just let a coach be a coach. That's their profession and they have to live with their decisions as well, right?
Yeah, I think that's that's how it should be from all the parents.
Of course. I don't think there's any coach that wants to go out there and lose. So if he makes a decision for his team, I'm sure, or she, because there could be a female coach too, I'm sure that they're making the right decision that they think for their team at the time. What advice would you give to a player about how to deal with a tough teammate?
Yeah, this is actually, I would say that this is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. So if you play in a team sport, you need to adjust. That's definitely. And try to talk between each other. I think talk between each other, that would be the best.
How does Luka receive new players on the team?
He received them very well. He was always very good with them. Um, that's what I was really proud of him because he never had a problem with the team players. Even when he was a kid, even in Olympia Ljubljana, even in Real Madrid, even here. So I think this is really important. If you wanna be great player and if you wanna be good with your team, because when the teammates stick together, they play much better, all of them. So I think this is something that you need to put in your head, that this is really important, that you get along very good with all of them.
Your son's been playing basketball for quite some time now, but yet he's still so young. So, who is his mentor?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because he started so young.
Hmm.
So he had few people he likes. So I think he learned from all of them. He didn't have a special mentor. He wants to be Luka. He
Yeah.
doesn't probably want to be compared to other players, but he wants to be Luka. So that's why he's so special in those things. But he didn't have a real mentor, but he was learning from all the good players.
Yeah. So he's developed good friendships with the players now. And does he ask them questions on how to become a better player or things like that? Do you know?
No, this I don't know, but I know that he has a really good relations with all of them, also with the players from Spain. So, but yeah, I don't know if you ask them questions. If I really
If you could give one piece of advice to another courtside mom, what would it be?
that an eater is not so hard like I thought it would be.
Oh my God, I love that.
I'm joking. um, just enjoy life with your sons. That's important. Support them because they need support. Because when they are really successful, everybody gonna be nice to them. Everybody gonna say, "Oh, you're good, you're good." But when something really went wrong, your family is gonna stay there. So just be there to support them in good and especially in bad times.
You know, Luca is like I keep saying, he's so young and he has many, many, many years left of playing basketball in him. But if we look way in the future, what do you think life after basketball would be for him?
I hope that he's gonna do probably he's gonna do something connected to the basketball, and I will be really happy that he does something, because sometimes I am worried, because usually players after the career, they're kind of lost,
Yeah.
and I think that's because they don't know what to do. Basketball was their life, and it's really hard for them. So hopefully, he said one time he's going to be a coach, so let's see. Hopefully he's going to stay in basketball because it's something he really likes.
Do you think he'll be coaching in the US or do you think that he would love to either return to Slovenia or maybe anywhere else in the world? What do you think?
I think he might like to go back to Slovenia because he really loves to be there, and I think when his career is going to be over, I'm pretty sure he's going to move back and do something there. But we never know. I mean, he still has some time.
Does he have a foundation?
Yes, yes, he has a foundation.
Okay. Tell me about that foundation. Like what does it do? What does it give back to?
Our foundation, we help kids whose parents doesn't have enough money to support them in a sport. This is our job, but we also help other kids when parents doesn't have enough money. So we try to help as much as kids as we can. It's not easy, but it's a lot of them. So when Luca was a kid, we helped a lot of them. So we did a lot of charity together when he was a kid. So he's used to it. So we saw a lot of time that kids affect him. So he really want to help them.
That is so nice that as a player, you know what I mean, he recognizes that and he wants to give back
So
to other players.
makes me the most proud.
Of course. Because you know what I mean? It's like he has that big heart where he wants them to get where he is.
Correct. Yeah.
Does he do any events in your country? Like, do you guys ever go back to Slovenia and do like basketball camps?
Yeah, he had one basketball camp in Spain, in Madrid, but
Yeah.
in Slovenia not so much, because whenever he come back, we want him to be at home to rest a little bit, because he has so much obligations during the season. whenever he comes home back to Slovenia, he wants to rest. He doesn't want to do so many things. So for now, he doesn't do basketball camps. But I think in future he's going to do it.
Well, the NBA, the season just started. Are you excited now that you get to watch them play?
Yes, we are excited. Unfortunately, we cannot watch the games, but doesn't matter. We watch them on TV, but we are really excited that they start. Yeah.
Okay, so the arena is not open yet.
Not open yet, fortunately.
Oh, well, hopefully your arena will be open very soon. Yeah, my son
is going to be better soon. So hopefully 2020 is over. So thanks God 21 is coming. So we'll be better for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, my son plays for Orlando Magic and you can go watch the games, but it's very limited.
Oh, they can. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Canada, so I can't go anyway, but that's okay. Well, I had such a wonderful time speaking with you, Mirjam. You are absolutely fantastic. You're awesome, and it was nice to learn about your son from your perspective. And you are the first mother that I had on the show who is from Europe, and her son came to the NBA. Usually it's the opposite. So I just loved learning the perspective from your eyes and from that side of the world. So thank you very, very much for coming on Courtside Moms.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I enjoyed very much. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Courtside Moms and make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. Baby.